I love the phrase when people are having trouble and they need to go separate ways, when one person says, "It's not you, it's me." I love that phrase. And then they go on to tell why. What they're really saying is, "It's not you, it's me. I can't stand working with you." Or "I can't stand being with you," right? So are you in the process of hiring someone who you're going to work closely with and potentially for a long time? Then this video is for you. Maybe you're a leader or a manager or a supervisor. In some way, you are an influencer, and it's time to maybe replace someone who's moved on, or to add a team member, or to bring a team member back who's been gone for a while. We've done a lot of this kind of thing over the years, and we've helped a countless number of leaders walk through that kind of process. We've helped folks learn how to do competency-based hiring versus skill-based hiring. For example, you figure out the competencies that a person needs in a position, and then you check to find out when they have demonstrated those competencies. Most folks do skill-based hiring, which is can you weld, so we hire you, or can you manage spreadsheets, or can you do accounting, or do you have a certain particular set of skills that you can demonstrate right here and right now, therefore we'll hire you. But then they never check behind the engines behind those skills, which are competencies. A competency is something that's developed over a period of time differently than skills. Competencies show up everywhere, and skills show up only where they're needed. Curiosity is a competency. Grit is a competency. Managing time is a skill. Welding is a skill. You see that? So we've helped people figure out how to hire for competencies, and we've helped them even learn from that how to do deep dive reference interviews with people that are different than the kind of interviews that are out there. We've learned how to do assessment centers when we're hiring somebody or recommending someone to be hired into a level where it's really important that we understand that person from a bunch of different angles, and how to present on video interviews, and on and on. It's been really fun over the years for us to develop a little bit of experience and some expertise in that arena. And we've noticed something that many leaders miss when making their decision to offer a specific candidate a job or to narrow the field significantly. They forget to ask this simple question: can that person work with me? Most leaders are humble in their own way, so they discount that question. Many leaders that I know feel that it's selfish to ask the question, can that person work with me? And they feel almost like it's not objective enough, like they can't put together words that describe, or measurements that track whether a person can or cannot work with them. And many of them think instead, well, you know, I can adapt to that person. I can adapt. They're 2 gallons of weird in a 1-gallon bucket, but maybe I'll be able to adapt. But here's the deal. There's the job, and then there's the job with you. They will do their work, but with you. This is a really big deal. So they better be good at you, or at least have the capacity to learn to work with you in all your glory. So let me illustrate. Donnie, who is sitting right over there right now, and he may make noises even as I go on with this description, and I have worked together for about 25 years. And he does a phenomenal job. And I've grown a lot in that 25 years that we've worked together, and so has he, but he still has to work with me. I'm optimistic, and I say, yes, let's do it, sometimes before I count the cost. Maybe that's my first response. I have a high velocity of thought and a very high velocity of speech if ungoverned. I'm a bit of an introvert. That means I like to get away from the noise of people and the outward noise of life and recharge my batteries. And I have a very vivacious, if you want to call it that, living inner world, inner thought life. So sometimes I have conversations, full-blown conversations, in my head that I think I've said out loud with Donnie. I utterly rely on people to do what they say they're going to do, and I get really annoyed and cranky if details are dropped. I'm incredibly impatient if I need to circle back and redo something, anything. And of course, in all of that, I'm an utter joy to work with. But Donnie has a big, robust job, but his job is to do that job with me. It's got a huge job. It's with me. The reverse is also true. I've got a huge job, and it's with him. And this is true throughout all of our companies. So here's my point. When you're hiring somebody, at least half of the question is, can this person work with me? Not just can they do that job, the chief of this or the director of that or the leader of this or the manager of that. Not can they just do that job, but can they do it with you? Do they have the same velocity of thought that you have? Do they have the same velocity of work? Do they have the same velocity of speech? Do they have a complementary sense of humor? This is extremely important because you're going to encounter a lot of bumps and scrapes along the way as you work together. And if you can't laugh at similar things, you're in trouble. Do they have a mindset about their own personal growth that fits your mindset? Do they seek and even enjoy learning, especially from their own mistakes? Or do they get all defensive and prickly when things come up? Do they default to blame or default to ownership? Do they have a generous and outward mindset, that is a we mindset, versus a me mindset? This is one of the biggest ones out there. I have an outward, generous mindset. I think and I love living a life that is generous to other people, and sometimes, perhaps often, at my own expense. I love a life like that. And if I'm bringing somebody alongside me to work who has the opposite of that, this is just not going to work. Maybe the same is true for you. So do they have a generous, outward mindset? And then another thing, do they have a result orientation? That is, are they about getting and understanding clear outcomes or results that need to be achieved and then flexing to get there along the way? Or are they task-oriented so that they just have a list of tasks, they put their head down and they go, and they don't even realize that that's the wrong direction and they're going off a cliff? And on and on and on. So really, I guess the question is kind of a sloppy question, but do you like that person? You're going to be spending a lot of time with him or her, and much of the job that they're going to be doing is doing it with you. If you ignore this and you hire the wrong person, then you're probably going to need to check out our upcoming video called How to Make Someone Available to Industry. That's Donnie's phrase when it's time for someone to go. Well, there you go. Remember, there's the job, and then there's the job with you. That's very important. There you go. Here's to you. Leadership is hard. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Cheers.